Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alan Thornton, and I am your host. And I want to thank you for coming to our page. And we're going to get to know each other a little bit here. I'm the founder and CEO of GrantSource, and I just want to tell you a little bit about what we do and really why we do it, most importantly, because you can go down, you can click the link below. You can just view our pitch deck like you view everybody else's, right? But I want to give you a little insight of who we are and really dig into why we're so passionate about what we do. Look, I just came from the gym. That's important to me. One of my mentors said, look, if you want to get your body in shape, and your mind will follow. So you're going to see me here presenting to you in a hoodie. I'm actually in our office right now presenting this after. Most likely you're watching this video and we will probably cross paths when we're at Palo Alto. I'm exhibiting and we're pitching there. We're excited to be there. I'll also be at the Venture Summit, and there'll be a number of conferences and workshops that we'll be going to, but we're here to talk about money. That's what we do, which is, it's unique, right? And GrantSource is a grant funding system, and we're seeking $750K, and we're doing that right now on a convertible note. So without further ado, I'm gonna take you through a little journey, so stay with me. In the beginning, you're like, wow, where's this going? But it'll all make sense. So I wanna let you know, our clients, many of you have seen this scene before. If you're in California, you know exactly what this means. And the California forest fires have been devastating to California. Here's another scene. This is Hurricane Harvey. I actually live and reside in Houston, Texas, and went through this. Now, the thing about these pictures are, yes, they're absolutely devastating, but I want to let you know our clients are the one who step in when disasters like this happen. They step in with community support. They step in with, they're able to help rebuild these homes. They're able to help the families with different resources, but all those things take money. And that's what we do with grants. We help people find money for their mission. These are all causes that we know. Grants are not a new thing. And we're gonna go over that. So why do I care about grants, right? Why does our team care? And I'll go over our background briefly, right? I'm an enterprise software guy by trade, right? That's what I do. But when I was in college, I found something that I was truly passionate about, and that was a nonprofit that we started back in 2006. And Men of Honor, back in 2006, we actually started that. Now there's over 80 chapters across the US, and I think a couple in Canada. But we started this organization because the African-American graduation population was less than 6% when we went to college, if you can imagine that. So we said, hey, this is unacceptable. There's got to be something that we can do to change this. And our goal was to eradicate the stereotypes around African-American male on university campuses and eventually across the country. So we did both campus, we did community involvement, we fed the homeless, we put up, we built homes with Habitat for Humanity, right? It's for some of those homes you've seen in different devastations, like a few of the pictures you just saw. We put on professional programs, we did campus, we did community involvement, we work with like Big Brothers and Big Sisters. One of my best friends got Big Brother of the Year, for that organization. And all of this started through Men of Honor. Even back in the 2008 election, we registered over 3,200 students to vote. And you can see down in these pictures below how aggressive we got in registering people to vote. But whether they were Republican or Democrat, we just wanted to make sure that people were registering to vote, because usually college students are apathetic. And all that did is it boosted not only our self-worth, right? Because we were just coming in and out of college, but in just 3.5 years, in doing all those programs, we were able to increase the graduation population from, just shy of 6% to over 38%, right? So we had some room to grow, but still incredible impact that we were able to do. So that's just a little bit about why and why we created Grant, why we started Grant Sources. We have this great organization, as you can see, right? And we wanted to expand to other places. Unfortunately, we didn't have expansion money. So grants were an incredible opportunity to do that. Unfortunately, if you've ever looked for a grant, they're extremely hard to find, even more difficult to write. And I was wearing multiple hats, as you can see in some of these pictures. And like many other nonprofits, I was busy. So I paid a grant writer to handle that for us, and I got burned. They ended up stealing my money. There was little to no communication. So I said, look, again, we're in a place where something has to be changed. So we did a lot of research. We went to some schooling, right, to make sure that we could master some of the principles around grants and see what the problem was. And, you know, it took us a couple years to really build the Grant Source platform. In that process, we really educated ourselves, ended up writing a couple books in a book series, creating conferences, and just a little bit more about my background. I'm also a real estate investor, both single family and commercial. Like I said, I'm enterprise software by trade. So, you know, we've sold millions of dollars in that. But what we're really proud of is we've helped hundreds of organizations in devastations like the ones that you just saw find money for their mission to the tune of about $5.8 million since launching in 2018. So we're really proud of that. We've gone through a number of different accelerators and have really graduated and honed our craft. And, you know, now we're fortunate to be backed by Capital Factor, Gestalt 30 Partners. There's a couple that we're going to meet in San Francisco that will probably back us up as well. So we're not just starting, right? We have traction, and I'll go over our platform and everything. So let's get into it. Oh, again, here's more about, we have our conferences, our books. I'm in my office right now. We've written a couple books, as you can see. We have conferences that we do and put on. So we've really become the leader in the industry when it comes to just that, right? Finding money for your mission and doing it through a digital platform with digital transformation, right? Because like I said, I'm in enterprise software. That's where I grew up. I've sold for Dell EMC. I've sold ERP software. I've sold CRM software. I've sold efficiency management software, right? I've sold database software for MongoDB, one of the largest modern database companies in the world. So I've taken all that with my love and passion for nonprofits and my action that I had to take to change the industry, and put all this together and found people that are rationally passionate about funding causes that change our communities and have built a phenomenal platform. So let's get into the platform real quick. So if you don't know about the grant and incentive market, when I say grants, we're talking about federal, city, county, state. We're also talking about international grants. We're talking about all types of grants, whether it's foundation grants, corporation grants. We're talking about SBR grants for for-profits, incentives. We're talking about incentives for tax abatements. We're talking about rebates. We're talking about bill credits, right? And all of this. So when you add up all of those different opportunities that are available, not for nonprofits and for-profits, we're talking about a $40 billion grant and incentive market. Not that that's how much that it's available, right? Because that's a number that's, you know, 10 times that. We're talking about the market for people to actually subscribe and pay for something that could help them, right? 4.1 million nonprofits and for-profits that are eligible that can benefit from these grants annually. Here's the sad part, 3.6 billion of these go unclaimed every single year. And most of you know this, right? Grants are not something that's new, but you know that these things are kind of passing you by. And I'll introduce you to the reason why. Here's the problem, right? Nonprofits and impactful business leaders, they lack one of these three, right? They lack the time, the tools, or the talent. We know this because many of us, that's us, right? We're a startup, we're grinding, we're making money. We know where the low hanging fruit is. So I don't have the time right? Because I can't see a path to fruition. I don't have the tools. I don't have the databases. I don't know what kind of analytic software to use. I don't even want to put that together. And I definitely don't have the talent on staff, right? The consultants, the grant writers, maybe the political relationships that it takes for some of these things, right? Because everything's political, believe it or not, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know, right? So that is important. So when you put all that together, grants usually get put off on the shelf. They're like a unicorn. We know it's out there, but we're not going to worry about that, right? We're going to focus on something else. And that's a huge problem. It's a problem today. So that's why this problem is such a big opportunity. I'll introduce you to a few of my clients, right? This is Jonte Archer. She's the executive director she's a CEO. The reason why she worked with us is investment protection, right? And you can click on the links below. You'll see one of the new segments we were featured on together. But here were some of her challenges, just like mine, right? We're wearing multiple hats, multiple grant opportunities are out there, but you're missing them, right? Because you're so bogged down in the day-to-day. You've probably wasted time in the past, multiple grant systems to find new grants, right? I got 5 different databases, and every time somebody leaves, right, I got to use another one or find the one that I know how to utilize. And the biggest thing I don't want to worry about is risking losing my money. And Jonte said, look, you explained the investment protection to us. By working with GrantSource, I can't lose, right? With their investment protection, I know it's 100% risk-free. And that's why as a nonprofit, she was like, hey, no brainer. Let's go. Let's do this. So that's Jonte. Let me introduce you to a for-profit owner, right? John Lambert, CEO at The Cannon, right? They're a co-working space. And you say, well, why would a co-working space, why be looking for grants? Because there's grants and incentives out there. They're building a new building. There's rebates for electricity. There's tax incentives, and they're going to be doing this all across the country. And one of the biggest things is just like a Walmart or just like the Houston Rockets, they all have community foundations that do great things in the community to be able to showcase what they're doing, and that builds their brand within the community, and they create impact that also comes back. People end up buying tickets, buying stuff because of the great things that they're doing in the community from their for-profit, and they also are eligible for grants. So that's what we've kind of created with the cost center, where we basically do all that work for you. Because initially, here's what John's challenges. When I said, hey, John, I'm GrantSource, let's go look for grants. And he's like, well, I really don't have any interest in doing that, right? I don't really have budget for grants, right? I don't see a path to closure. I don't really have people to dedicate just to looking for grants. I know we're probably missing opportunities out there, but I don't really know how to wrap my arms around it. So I'm good with missing them, right? Because I'll waste a bunch of my time looking for them. And the biggest thing, again, even with the for-profit, is I don't want to risk losing my money. So that was John's challenge. And then once he found out, look, we can do all this this is an initiative here. He said, look, if you're not on the cutting edge of fundraising and social impact, you're going to lose. You always have to continue to fundraise, just like we're doing right now, right? And here's another way to do that. We're disrupting this industry because it's a pocket that people aren't looking at because it's not simple. Now it is, right? So here's the solution. With our platform, you can outsource grant finding, writing, and managing. We do everything for you. We're a digital platform, we're full service, and the biggest thing, we're 100% risk-free. So you don't have to risk losing your money, right? If we don't at least get your investment back within the first 12 months, we'll continue to write at no cost or give you a credit for the difference. It's unheard of, you know? Why not? It's 100% risk-free. So that's very important, and it's all through digital transformation, right? Like I said, I'm an enterprise software guy by trade. Not that I know how to build, but through trial and error, I've got some of the right developers and put things together and put a lot of my own money just to make sure that it works and find product market fit. And our grant writing is scalable. When we first started, we were just a database. And like I said, through trial and error, a bunch of our clients said, it's cool that you guys have a database, but can you write grants too, right? Can you do everything? Can we manage everything? Can we put the proposals? I said, we don't do that, but, but let me see what I can do. So I got on a plane. I went from Miami. I flew to Kansas. I went to Toronto, Canada. I went to LA. And I basically put all the top grant writing associations on retainer. And I said, look, I'll bring you guys volume. We need to fix this system. Your grant writers, I know they're reputable because they're part of your association. You guys are the top 5 associations in the nation. It's not going to cost you anything. I already have the platform and the volume. As they want things to be written, I will send it to your grant writer that specializes in that geo and that specialty in that specific area and has relationships already. I'll pay you a flat fee, right? Because we're going to do it flat. We're not going to do a percentage or anything crazy like that. We're just going to do a flat fee just to make things easy. Lights just went off on us. That's what happens when you go off the gym. And I'm going to finish the sentence. After that, they said that's fine. Let's do it. Right. So I put them all on retainer. So think about our system. It's like Uber for grants. We have built a revolutionary system. So wherever you go, where you can deploy a grant writer, and we are not even close to capacity. Let me get these lights back on real quick. Working late, right? That's what we want. In the office. So yeah, each grant writer can write about 60 to 65 grants a year. We have about 1,500 specialized grant writers across the US and Canada. So we can write over 100,000 grants a year with our capacity right now. We're not even scratching the surface on that, which is an incredible opportunity. And once we get this next investment, we're really going to scale up and just get to that next level, right? All of our grant writers are qualified, right? And I know this is overused, but I'm going to use it anyway. It's like Uber for grants, right? You don't have to worry and kind of pick your driver. You know that they've been pre-vetted by Uber. They have done a background check with our grant writers. They have at least 3 years of experience. They have $1 million in grant funded, and they're part of a reputable grant writing association that holds them to a bigger standard. So if they do anything crazy, they get kicked out of the association. They get they're like on a blacklist. So it's kind of like the BBB for grants. So that's important, right? So here's our business model. It's very simple, right? It's a flat fee. And what we tell our clients is through trial and error, we have figured out kind of what works, what our success ratios are. So we said, look, we will come up with 4 different packages based on how much you're really trying to raise. And under the covers with each one of these, right, there's foundation grants, there's corporation grants, there are government grants, and there's some marketing and fundraising things that we do on the back end, all optimized with digital technology, right? So there's marketing grants and there's other types of grants in there. But basically is we help organizations raise their anywhere from $50K to $1 million, right? And we charge anywhere from $500 to $500 a month to $5,000 a month. Right? Very simple. And last year half the year we were selling just a database, right? So we have grown substantially and we're able to sell something 1,000 times more expensive than last year, which is an incredible opportunity, right? And our customer satisfaction scores are a lot better, even when we're selling something cheaper. Imagine that, right? People don't buy on price, they buy on value. It's all about the value that we're able to create. Right. So with that, they're all 12-month subscriptions. They have investment protection. Once we pay all of our consultants, once we pay our partners, once we build everything that's in the package, we still have about a 35% profit margin. And, we're not really doing the heavy lifting. We're just collecting the information, everything in the app, getting it to the grant writer, streamlining the process, and we make 35%. which is incredible, right? And as we start to scale, this story is going to get even more incredible. And 92% based on the customers that we have right now want to increase their package within the first 12 months because they're getting a 5 to 15x ROI, 100% risk-free. You do that in any other investment, right? Stocks, real estate, gold, cats, whatever it is, right? That's incredible. So that's why we're gonna grow so fast. So I'm glad you're on here today because you have the opportunity to see something really special. So here's our market, right? Once everybody says, hey, well, that's a $40 billion market, that's huge. Okay, well, how do we get down into what is, what's your immediate, what's your beachhead market? What are you really going after, right? So we have honed down, like I said, over the last 2 years, really product market fit, really where we lie. Will we do things outside of that? Absolutely, if we believe we can help them, right? So we're focused on, just like I said, cost centers are huge for us, right? Because we can create the impact even with a for-profit organization. And then we can leverage some of the existing relationships in that area, build their impact, get them a marketing grant. It's about $200K to their bottom line in the first year. And that's not even counting foundation and corporation grants that we can help them with. So, and there's a whole nother webinar just on cost centers, but they are becoming the hottest thing in the market right now. So also with nonprofit organizations, that's really where we made our name. So we help them hone their story. We work with, here's where we have really had our success. So those nonprofit organizations with about $1 to $10 million in annual revenue, because that's low enough to where they haven't found don't have a grant writer on staff, maybe per se, but they also have enough money to pay for our service, right? They own a building, they're in a major metropolitan area, and they're in healthcare, education, or community outreach. And those are, do we have clients outside of that? Absolutely, but what we found is that is our sweet spot because they can use everything we have, right? They can not only use foundation grants, corporation grants, celebrity grants. They may have a need for a government grant. They have a building, so we can do green money incentives as well. And we can also help them with some of their marketing grants. So that is our ideal client. And we'll definitely continue to strive and go up market with that. Because if you go after everybody, that's fine. But we want to go after the people where we can help and also have our margins be good as well. So our sales strategy on these target market, right, is we have a good organic reach through social media events. We do webinars. We do, like you probably saw before, we have live conferences. Those live conferences are recorded. So through our funnel, somebody may buy our book and then want to do a live class online. From the live class, they go to they say, hey, well, it's good that we learned all this stuff, but I'm probably not going to do it all myself. So if you guys can do it and do it full service, right? So that's a good funnel. So our funnel, let's talk about that. And we're running, we know exactly what our customer acquisition costs. It's a little over 1 month for each client, right? So it's a little, even for our lowest package, it's a little over $500, right? But that's for $500 a month, right? So, and we can definitely get that down as we start to scale out and run more economies of scale with some of the marketing that we have. Our ads are getting better with IG. Some of our subscriptions and our marketing costs will go down once we have more money, right? Because we can pay annual instead of month to month. Sales funnel wise though, we do an opt-in page, right? So name, email, phone number through any of the things that you've seen above. Then we complete an actual funding assessment because we really want to know if we can really help you before we even invest a bunch of your time or ours, right? Because we want to be straight up with you. But if we deem that we can, based on that funding assessment, and it takes them about 5 minutes to complete that, 5 to 10 minutes max, depending on how detailed they want to go, we'll get on a discovery call with them and then just reiterate, hey, it looks like you're a good fit. Here's how we typically work. and we charge $500 to $5,000 a month. I want to make sure that you have money. I want to make sure that you have authority, right, to make a decision. I want to make sure that you have a need for what we do and you're the right person in that funding assessment. And then I want to make sure that you're going to make a decision in a reasonable amount of time. And then we'll do a demo. And on the demo, we will show them case studies. We'll show them different customer testimonials. We'll show them use cases. We'll even show them a list of grants and incentives that are available in their area based on a high-level profile. And then we're going to give them, right, an incentive to do it right now. So that's our sales cycle, and that's how we run them through. And then they may do it, they may not. Tell me yes, tell me no. But tell me pretty quickly, right? And if you're not a candidate right now, that's fine. And we may be in the future, and we'll keep you on our drip list. So that's just how we run things. It may be cut and dry, but again, like I said, we qualify. My background is in enterprise software, so I'd like to say enterprise software guys are probably some of the best salespeople in the world when it comes to sales and sales process. So that's how we run that. Here are some of our partners and customers to date. There's a wide variety of them, and we are building this logo slide. This year, we're going to have this logo slide by each major market, which is very exciting once we close out this round, and we're running hard. So some of our KPIs, we launched, like I said, it took a ton of my money. I probably put over $230K of my own money into this over the last few years, right? This idea happened and took a lot of time, energy, and effort just to build and aggregate all that data. Yes, we have direct APIs in some of the major grant databases on the federal level, but I'm paying guys overseas, right? $4 an hour to parse all these data from, 50, 60,000 different websites on the low end to put that data in our database. So to make sure that we have some of the most up-to-date data. But with that said, that's under the covers. We can get down more into that. KPIs, we have made money, which is a good thing. We launched in 2018. I put a ton of money in the beginning. We made about 38K the first year. And that's just on a database, right? That's a $100 database. And to make it compelling, we discounted it to 49. And then half of last year, we were still selling that database, and we went up to a $3,000 a year package with foundation and corporation grants. And toward the end of the year, we started selling the full service packages, $500 to $5,000 a month, right? So we made about 168K last year, and we are only going to scale up this year, which is incredible. And I'm glad that we're gonna partner with some of you on this webinar right now. So we've come up with really 11 strategic partnerships. So under the covers, right? Some of the grant writing associations, some of the incentives, the people that want to do 501c3s, some of the consultants that are really good at specific type of grants, like SBIR grants and things like that. We've developed strategic partnerships. After spending years, right, building things our own, we're like, look, we're going to partner instead of just build and create strategic partnerships, because that can happen, and it can happen quickly. And as we scale up and go into, hundreds of millions of dollars of sales, we'll, 10, 20, 50, $100 million in sales, we'll start to bring, of course, some of that in-house. But right now, let's get it out, right? Done's better than perfect. Let's just make it happen. So we've had 700 plus customers. Most of those, the majority of those were database only. But the good thing is we have a big pool of customers that we can now upgrade to our full service platforms. Just a few accolades. We've submitted over about 1,900 grants. And the big thing is we've helped organizations find and secure over $5.8 million, which is incredible, right? And it's going to be 100 million, and we'll be a platform that helps people get, $1 billion over, annually, which is very exciting. And our success rate, some of those SBIR grants, 62%, Foundation Corporation Celebrity, 85%, marketing grants, 90%. Most of you probably don't even know what a marketing grant is. And we can get on another call. I can share that with you, but we've been through a lot of different accelerators, right? Houston Liftoff, we're on the watch list, AWS. If you go, here's a cool thing. If you go to aws.amazon.com/startups, aws.amazon.com/startups, and you scroll down, we're on their front page of startups and revenue accelerators, which is cool. Capital Factory backed us. We do have a lead investor with that. Mass Challenge we're a graduate of their accelerator, and they're also one of our clients, right? Salesprocess.io, we're a graduate from there, and right, they're going to become one of our investors, which is incredible because they're seeing what we're doing using their process, and it works. And now we're having a lot of success with our clients, and we've won a lot of different pitch competition. We're excited. I'm excited that you're here today. Even whether you invest with us or not, we'll leave here and you'll know this is at least compelling. And there's probably one or two people that are clients or people that can use our platform or investors that you can at least share this with. So I thank you, eternally grateful for you at least getting on with us. So we do have a few competitors. Our competitors, and usually there are a lot of just databases, right? There's a lot of databases that just do pointed solutions, right? There's grants.gov, and that's pretty much a free solution. You can pay for consulting or them to do all the registrations for you. There's Grant Station, Grant Forward, Grant Watch. Grant Forward focuses on schools. Grant Watch, the lower tier of like nonprofits. Foundation Center, they are a single solution that's really pointed at foundations. It's a good database, right? And there's, I guess the biggest competitor would be to an all-in-one shop that does what we do would be a local grant writer or a consulting firm that put all this together, and they look for grants, find it, track it, and management. That's going to be extremely expensive, or having somebody on site doing that for you every single day, right? You're going to pay a six-figure salary to make that happen for what you're going to do. And then when you expand to another place, it's hard, right? So we're able to do all of that and do it risk-free with investment protection. Nobody does that in the industry. Usually grants are, hey, you know, if we get it, cool. If we don't, you know, you're kind of out of luck. So we're able to do everything for you and do it with investment protection, which is we're very proud of, right? And the reason we don't do, and that's a question, hey, do you do percentage? Well, major grant writing associations, if you know, most of the reputable ones, they will do it. It has to be a flat fee, right? Especially once you get into some of the larger ones. So exit strategies, and we'll wrap up. I appreciate our time together. We are already ingrained with some of these companies and doing things with them, like Google for Nonprofits. Our clients, we've been very successful, and we have a very good relationship with us. Actually, one of our consultants sits on the board for Google for Nonprofits, and he helps us approve some of our marketing grants. So that's why we have such a high success ratio. Microsoft, so they know us, they know our name. Microsoft is big. In all of their places, we have a client that does some of the STEM trainings in a lot of their facilities and a lot of their storefronts. So they're getting to know us, they know who we are, and we're trying to do a bunch of cost centers for them, which is cool. AWS, right? Part of our platform is built on that, and our new scale out on MongoDB, right? Our new platform is going to be on there. We're talking to them on a big partnership for like SBIR grants and parsing some of their data. We're working on a SBIR grant for us with the federal government to parse all that data and put it on one place, which is exciting. So there's a lot of different exit strategies here. I know some of the investors on this call are going to be, oh, those are just big companies that are not interested in you. But look, we have with all the grants that we write, with all the analytics and data, right? Because our DAP system, right, is based on software and analytics to find the best companies and the software that companies have given to in the past, which is very, very important. And I'm in Houston. Data is the new oil. And a lot of these companies buy companies just because they want all the data, all the analytics, right? Another thing is, as we go up, we're shifting and waiting to get the revenue where we need to so we can IPO ourselves. It's going to happen. Look, you're on this webinar. You stayed with me this long. You could have just downloaded the deck, but it's gonna happen. And I appreciate you sitting on this webinar with me. Just real quick to hear our story, right? This is our team. So our team is a team of a lot of people, even way smarter than me, right? They're entrepreneurs, they're nonprofit executives. They are, MBAs. They've gone to school. They've really scaled it. And I'm proud of this team because they've believed in this platform and the vision that we've put together. And I'm just glad to really take this to the next level. Our investors, our advisors, right? I want to thank people like Heath Butler for believing in us and being our lead investor on this, especially in this round. Thank you to Brittany for helping us tremendously, right? And getting us through this road, even Startup Grind. For those of you that don't know, Brittany was the startup company of the year at Startup Grind in 2018. Them and Fairmore killed it, right? And they raised $1 million almost, within 4 or 5 months, or less than that, 3-4 months after that, because they launched and everything. That was in January, and they had their round closed. So Doug, I met Doug at another startup event. We've had a really good relationship over the years. He's raised a ton of money, probably raised $6-7 million. He's a Y Combinator company, and Mr. Sprinkles, right? He's helped me put together some of these courses. He's a best-selling author. He's helped me on my book, on our strategy to really connect with people. It's one of the things, right? I can send you a pitch deck, but I want to give you some of me, right? And that's important as we take this journey together. So we're trying to get to this level, and here's some of the milestones, right? Not just, hey, I'm gonna spend this on marketing, I'm gonna spend this on product development. Well, here's what we're gonna accomplish, right, with this money that you give us. First of all, we're gonna accomplish $6 million in annual reoccurring revenue, and that we can do that in a variety of different places. We already have the customer base. If we just upgrade, 20-30% of our database customers and come over, we'll be almost at those numbers, right? And they may not be the right demographic to do all of that with, but we have the business. We're doing some large partners. I'm doing a pilot right now with a Booster Club association, and they have 38,000 members nationwide, right? It's huge, and that's gonna be a really big deal. We're talking to a number of large co-working spaces that are doing things and scaling things across the country. So we have a lot of different Lifestyles Unlimited. We're presenting to at the end of this month. We're in February, right? Right before Startup Grind. But the end of this month, I'm a preferred investor there, and they have something like 5,800 members, and I already have 2 clients that are use cases and testimonials that are doing presentations with me. I'm one of the featured speakers there that are doing presentations with me saying, hey, this is a cost center, this is what we do, and this is how we're creating impact, and this is the green money incentives and the grants that we applied for. Our customers are talking for us. So, just getting 200-300 of those, and there's literally 5,800. Right? So we have this is not pie in the sky. We have visibility into our numbers. We just need some of this money to automate, right? Some of the things that we're doing. We want to launch version 3 of our app. We want to bring some of those teams, right? We have an army of part-time people right now. I'm the only one full-time. We want to bring them on full-time and be able to do that. launch version 3 of the app, put the revenue accelerator in there, put some of the cost center automation in there, because we built out the model. We know it works. We're getting people money for their mission. Now we just need to embed everything in there. And the good thing is, doing that, we're going to get people $100 million in grants awarded for our clients. And that's real, right? Only with a couple $100,000 in revenue, we've got people 5.8 million. And that's just going to scale up, right? Just with marketing grants, $120,000, doing that for 400 clients. I mean, we're talking almost $50 million just with marketing grants, not talking the foundation grants, the corporation grants, everything else that we're doing. So we're excited. That is our presentation. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. I'm going to give you another piece of me. Hold on real quick. Alana, come here. I'm going to give everybody else a small piece of me, but the grant funding system, this is money for your mission. We're seeking $750K to be able to do that. And that's our presentation. I want to thank each and every one of you for being on. Let me get, as you know, my name's Alan Thornton. I'm the founder. This is Alana, right? This is my baby girl. This is why I do what I do and why I do it, so that Alana, right? Say hi to the investors. Say hi, investors. Say hi, investors. Yeah, you tired? You've been in daddy's office? It's important. We're having fun though, right? So this is what we're gonna do. We're in the office late night because this is my passion. This is my destiny. This is what we're meant to do, to help people get money for their mission and to make a better world for pretty little girls like this, right? So they can grow up and have the education that they need, especially in underserved communities. We're able to help those real estate investors really care about social impact, right? Help these bright minds do whatever they want to do in the future. Help her get to the moon, right? Elon Musk is getting to the moon. We want to own real estate on the moon and develop it. We're going to need grants for that and funding. And there's stuff out there, right? Talking to a few people in my office. So thank you guys for spending this time with me. I know this was a long webinar. If you have anybody that you want to forward this to and they just want to see the investor deck, they can do that. Download the investor deck below. If you want to see some client testimonials, there's news videos, there's examples of clients below. But I hope everybody has a blessed day. And remember, it's not about the money. It's all about the impact. You have a blessed day.